I just spent an hour and a half watching Mohammed Hijab run PR for Andrew Tate. Let me show you where him and his heavily muscled friend slipped and revealed what's really on their minds.
In the future, if there's some kind of a war, it's not going to be the one who can throw the best jab, it's going to be the one who takes the best shot.
Technology and arms.
Yeah, exactly.
You see how these Western powers who just bombard countries, sitting on computers, they haven't got the guts to... If they go there, they lose. It's just, it's all technology now.
Drone warfare and all that kind of stuff.
All right, so what does this guy seriously expect? Does he expect me to like wrestle with him in the mud? I'm just gonna willingly go and fight fisticuffs with this like jacked monster on steroids? Because he looks like he's on steroids. If he's 44 years old and he tells us this throughout the interview, then, he looks pretty good shape for a 44-year-old guy to me there, bud.
Islam is clear cut, that's it. We don't budge. We're not like, and no disrespect to other religions, I respect all. Got friends in every religion, but you'll never see, you might see it nowadays, stuff like that, but we're producing gay marriage or we'll say this. These are rules, accept it or not. If you don't accept it, you're sinning, but we know it.
Yeah, because the thing is, on this point, I think there's a deeper point, which is that Islam, one of the key USPs of Islam is its preservation.
Yes,
okay?
yeah.
Perfect preservation, yo. It's perfect preservation, yo. What's up? Perfect preservation from 200 years later. Remind me again when the earliest Quran is from? Let's continue.
Obviously, we know the Quran has been preserved, and we have all discussions about how the Quran has been preserved comparative to other scriptures and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not just the Quran that's been preserved, it's actually the practices.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like the fact that, there is a difference of opinion in Islam and stuff like that, but there are limits that no Muslim can cross.
And that one rule is you absolutely may not apply psychology in order to examine what Muhammad did, how he behaved, or anything to do with him. You may not criticize him. You may not ask any questions of his aberrant behavior. You must just accept it and move on. Deal with it. Got it? That's the rule. Okay, let's continue.
You have these religions, people say Christianity is the biggest religion in the world. Is it? Who's really Christian? And I'm not being disrespectful. I was raised in a non-Muslim town. I was the only Muslim family, people there.
Yeah.
It's Christmas, it's Easter. Is it Christianity? Is it a culture? Is it?
I find it amazing how quickly this guy is willing to dunk on the UK and Christianity when they are the two things that basically afforded him the upbringing that he had. This guy was raised in the UK. He owes a lot more to Christianity than he seems to realize. It's really easy for him to talk about how easy life is for him now and how welcome and appreciated he is in Islamic societies in Dubai and Qatar and these places that he frequents. But I don't think those people would really care about who he is had he not gained fame. So for him to conflate that's very disingenuous.
Look at every Jummah, look at every prayer, look at Ramadan. When you go to Umrah, millions of people, and it's silence in Salah. And it's just growing. Everywhere you go, from martial arts to actors to whatever you want to say, Islam is being preserved, and it's still, how you want to call it, it's still the same old, like people say, oh, you're backward, your women cover a certain way, you guys have the beards, the way you pray, we don't change for nothing, but we've moved with society. When Tate came on the scene, imagine at a time where atheism was growing at that time.
Yeah.
It was remember people were ashamed to be Muslim. I remember those years, everyone was like...
I love how this goes from an advertisement to basically telling you how bad atheism is because they don't have any good arguments to sell you on a certain religion. That's really, they literally had, preservation, man. We got preservations, yo, from 200 years later.
A kissing scene to this, I'm 44. A kissing scene comes on now, I have to jump and change the channel with my mother. My wife can't even sit and do this with me. It's a shame. If a woman, God forbid, called my house as a kid, I would literally was suicidal. My mum might say,
Yeah.
To a point where you're on Instagram, people are holding bottles. I was like,
it sounds like a garbage bag with one
let's differentiate.
Too far away from what this guy is
culture
saying.
and Islam. He's not said anything which will take him out the realms of Islam. Firstly, when there's many Shia who say things worse, and people always respect them over that. You could have a Shia who will say something about Hazrat Aisha or the Sahaba, which is much worse.
It's funny because the Shia actually try to pretend that Aisha was 14 because that's how embarrassed they are. That because they have common sense, they understand this is an unjustifiable kind of position to take, right? You need to say she's 14 for this to even be remotely digestible. They at least have the common sense for that. It's the Sunnis that are just like, you cannot criticize him under any circumstance. Do you understand? Do you understand me? You cannot. Cannot. I refuse. Okay, so now that I got that out of my system, let's continue.
I think when we say aiding, I think that word is a strong word because, and I'm honestly going to say that I honestly believe he's just trying to get content out there for every demographic to make more money. I don't believe
I'll give props where it's due. They're being honest here. Let's continue.
The funny thing with the right wing in Islam is they're very majority of right wing. If they knew the message, be Muslim.
I get you.
Because I can't explain. They're manipulated by the media, but what they truly believe is everything Islam stands for. They go everything they hate, Islam hates and stands up against. That's what makes me laugh about these right wing guys.
You mean until you start making women start wearing garbage bags where you cut one eye hole for them and they can't speak in public, and then you also want to justify marriage to 9-year-old girls, and that's how you roll, so you wonder why right-wing conservatives aren't down with you. Okay, let's continue.
Guys out there, I understand, but we've got bigger wars out there. Number two, the first thing we will be judged on when we are on the day of judgment, when we are gone, is not who Andrew Tate did. It's going to be whether you prayed, I prayed, what we did.
Well, at least we know where his priorities are. Praying 5 times a day is clearly much more important than standing up to things like being horrible to women, including very young women, very little girls, that you really kind of throw under the bus because you can't say anything bad about a certain guy whose name starts with an M. Okay, let's continue.
Anything like what? Because you're looking at the bigger picture. Actually, like I've always said this: you're one of the closest Muslims to him. Number one, if not the most close Muslim to him. Number two, there is zero benefit in pushing Andrew Tate to become an enemy of Islam.
Zero benefit.
Zero benefit. And if you push him too much, a human being is a human being is a human being. And like you're going to push him. Do you want him to become like a David Wood? Do you want him to become like an enemy of Islam? Is that what you want? Because that's going to bring people out of Islam. That's what it's going to do.
Shout out to David Wood. What's up, man? You totally getting under his skin. Keep doing it. Thumbs up.
To understand, even how to act, how to be a husband.
Yeah.
Bro, as a Muslim, you're learning every day. How to be a good son. Like many things. I'm around that. I'm around that culture. Pashtun culture is very, and what am I expecting from him? So rather than that, I think that be an example, show that, talk to him. And I know everyone's different.
And there's our fundamental difference. Some of us inherently understand what good and evil is. Some of us inherently understand why trying to defend 9-year-old marriage is not okay. Some of us understand why treating women the way that you do is not okay. That's really the difference, isn't it? That we don't need to be taught these things.
There's two sides of it. I can really see this side of it. Yeah. And I think that Muslim community have to really tone it down with this. Yeah, because at the end of the day, like I said, there's zero benefit in this man leaving Islam and becoming an enemy of Islam. Yeah. It will lead to more apostasies. It will lead to less people coming into Islam. Especially those who came into Islam through him. And there's a lot. And we know that. But on the other hand, I think, because the thing is with Andrew Tate, he's living in Romania now. And he's between here and Romania. A lot of the followers are in the UK, are in the US, are in European countries, in different places of the world. And he hasn't been in those places for a very long time. So what he needs to understand is that he could be out of touch with what's going on the ground, isn't it? Because like, when you're always online, he's on Twitter a lot of the time, and you're speaking to people and stuff, like you start to think that social media is a representation of reality. But I went with my family up north.
It's funny he says that because I think I would argue the exact opposite. I would tell you that Twitter is where people are actually telling you how they really feel. The stuff that they can't say out in public or at their workplace because they might lose their jobs, but it's what they're bottling inside. Isn't it hilarious how they think that we just go on Twitter and just blast away because we have nothing else to do? I think you have us mistaken with the left, sir. We actually know what we're talking about and why we're so upset. We're not just upset to be upset. Sorry, we actually have a reason.
That's not really what's going on in the world.
I agree, and you're so right. It was about a year and a half ago, he was like, I don't know what to do, everyone hates me. This is before anything happened. It's X, that's all he sees, he's banned from anything.
Yeah, and it's not the bro.
X is such a toxic cesspool, like you said. And I'm thinking, man, I'm 44, okay, what am I doing? This guy's got a ghost account.
Well, you're self-reflective though, you can see it. Some people don't.
Pay careful attention here. Note how the really big muscled guy just said that he responds to people with 4 followers sometimes because he just kind of feels like it. He just feels the need to do it. And Mohammed Hijab says, yes, well, that's because you're very self-reflective. Now let's watch 2 minutes later and watch them laugh at Jordan Peterson doing the exact same thing. Oh, he's such a loser for oh, he's such a loser. Yeah, that's how ridiculous these guys are. Okay, let's watch.
People like Peterson, Jordan Peterson, who I've also spoken to, he's on Twitter so much. And bro, like there was a guy at one point who had like 10 followers. And he said, you coward, Peterson. And Peterson responded to him, bro. Bro, I'm saying, what does it take for a man who's the bestseller, Harvard professor, this and that?
That's how genuine Mohammed Hijab is. Literally a few minutes later, he's cracking on Peterson for what he just called self-reflective.
Well, you're self-reflective though, you can see it. Some people don't.
Tommy Ramos has a lot of Pakistani Muslims around him, friends.
Is
It's
it?
shocking, yeah.
Why is
I
that?
was shocked, bro. I was shocked. I don't know.
So what's going on there?
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's weird, bro.
They also don't have the Wala and Barat properly. They don't have the
I'm
allegiance.
telling you.
Is this guy for real? Is he seriously trying to throw Tommy Robinson under the bus just because he has some Pakistani friends? What are we supposed to infer from this? I mean, I know what you're trying to infer here, but I'm not even going to give it the dignity of saying it out loud because it's ridiculous. It's that ridiculous. This is a comment that had absolutely no founding in reality whatsoever. Well, you know, Tommy Robinson hangs out with these guys, so, you know, you can figure it out. Yeah, all right, bud. You really think we're stupid, eh?
What's funny when they blame Muslims is whatever they're trying to blame for us, our Quran is specifically against what they're trying to say. It's not Islam at all.
Exactly. It's like
just
grooming
stop-
gangs, this, that, like,
and
come
the
on,
funny
man.
thing is, we're not saying Sharia, but if you had that Islamic kind of, like UK has gone so bad with crime. Forget, I'm not talking about immigration crime.
Yeah.
The only way to save it is to bring literally Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, no, it doesn't say that. No, it really doesn't. There's so much more in your book that actually invalidates those things that try to say you can't do those things. So what good are saying that you can't do something when then you have 10 other things that say you can? And that's the reality of what you're dealing with. And no amount of lying about it and no amount of you like playing this game with Mohammed Hijab is going to change that reality, okay? And the way to actually fix Britain is to just get rid of all the criminals and super punish them. And just like, if you're a criminal, you came into the country and you seriously did violent crime and stuff, then just get out of the country. I'm an immigrant to Canada, and I can proudly say that I've never committed violence that wasn't inflicted on me first. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. Please remember to leave a comment and like and subscribe. And yeah, you can help me produce more content like this. Take care, guys. Bye.